starts with breaking news.
Breaking news, we are following a Shenandoah man dead after a crash early this morning. Iowa State Patrol says this happened just after midnight in Adams County. The initial investigation has found a truck left the roadway, went into a ditch, rolling several times. The driver, now identified as 37-year-old Michael Wilson, was ejected from that car. He was taken to the hospital where he died shortly thereafter. It's good to have you with us early this morning on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. First alert to a few things. First, you don't have to worry about those crazy winds blowing everything around, right? The second thing is that it is cold out there this morning.
Yeah, just, we're in the 20s now, so whatever little wind there is does make it feel like the teens, but it's not trying to knock you over. It's not trying to send your Christmas decorations into Missouri. We're good there. But overall, you got some clouds that are moving through, and we're going to be mostly cloudy today. I think we can get some sunlight through these clouds as we're starting off at 26. Feels like temperature of 15 right now, so a little bit of a breeze. But again, we were gusting 40, 50, 60 miles per hour at this time yesterday morning. So 26 feels like 15. Overall, 20s feel like teens when you catch the breeze that is out there. So the air does have a bite to it. Not much as far as the wind gusts go as of right now. Strongest one, 16 miles per hour in Beatrice. So it's mostly just a little sustained wind every once in a while. Could have a couple gusts up near 20. I think 25 is probably a little bit too high. Southeast wind about 20 miles per hour today is what we're looking at. So satellite and radar shows there's a system diving in. You might hear over the next couple of days out of all the moisture rolling into the Pacific Northwest. Well, that's riding up over a ridge and it's pointing right down towards us over the next several days, sending these little pieces of energy our way. The first one of which is rolling through now. Brought a few flurries overnight. There's a little bit of snow trying to work its way in. Radar's trying to figure out exactly what's falling here, but we'll see what this little nose of it can do and if it can hang on. Best odds for a little bit of precipitation will be across our northern counties here as we head through the morning, and it likely won't be all that much. So you can see at 6 o'clock, model's doing a decent job of showing where that's at. And then a secondary band tries to slice into the area from 9 to noon. Best odds for a little accumulation are going to be in our western Iowa counties here north of I-80, so could get a little bit of that by lunch. Mid-20s in Carroll, mid-30s in Omaha, low 40s in York. I cannot stress enough how much the temperature is going to vary from southwest to northeast today, and your weather conditions will change. You get clouds, some snow showers, and much colder air in Iowa. You get sunshine and 40s and likely some 50s. Now 58 might be a bit of a reach in York, but you get the idea. It's going to be warmer southwest, colder northeast, a little bit of snow trying to show up, and in the middle, we're just hanging out here along the river, probably low 40s for an afternoon high with a little bit of sunlight sneaking through. By 5 we have that, and then later on in the evening by 7 we're starting to fall back. Pretty quiet conditions overnight tonight. Clouds around, maybe again a few flurries. Sometimes models can't pick up on the really fine snow that tries to fall at times, but down near 30 degrees to start off the day tomorrow, and that'll be close to where our high is. That says 32. I'm thinking somewhere in the low 30s, somewhere in the middle of the morning hours, and then we'll fall off some in the afternoon. So you probably won't notice much of a difference during the day on Friday. It's going to be cloudy with temperatures that are probably a little colder than you'd like after having some 40s today.
Okay. Heads up to the weekend. Saturday, all week, we've just been seeing that number go down and down and down. We'll see if it stays right now where it is, but already we got to be prepared.
That's the thing. And we talked about yesterday, along with the cold, that's our best opportunity for some snow. Well, that chance has gone up enough that I made it a First Alert 6 weather day. 14 for the high. And let me tell you, that could be sometime in the morning on Saturday. And then we get colder into the afternoon, because what this round of snow from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. will do is drag some colder air in behind it. Now, it's not going to snow for the entire area for that entire 9-hour window here. Most of it will probably be in the morning. Up to 2 inches in the metro. That'll be the absolute high end, I think, depending on how the snow ratios work out with this one. But most of us will likely see an inch or less out of this. But there could be a couple of spots that try to get closer to 2 inches, maybe an inch and a half. So temperatures will fall off below zero behind that Saturday night into Sunday morning. There's my snow forecast. Less than 2 inches of accumulation in the white shaded area includes the metro. Closer you are to the blue, the better your odds of getting 2 inches of total snow out of this one. And then you go farther northeast and you're looking at 2 to 4 inches in west central Iowa. Again, that is just out of Saturday. That doesn't take into account the light dusting or coating you could get this morning as well. And notice how much it drops off to the southwest. So figuring out where the southwest edge of this sits is going to be the tough part, and we might finesse it here in the next couple of days and fine tune it. So be sure you pay attention. 19 then on Sunday, 42 on Monday. So unfortunately, 2 coldest days, probably on the 2 days you don't want it. Down in the teens. It's going to be darn cold.
Yeah.
Indoor stuff is going to be very popular this weekend. That's the way it's going.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's turn to traffic now. There's a crash on I-80 and it's causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah, it's in a really bad spot to have a crash, and it's right as you're going through that interchange with I-80 and 680. You get a lot of traffic that comes through there at this time of the morning, and what's more is you have multiple spots where you have cars that have been impacted by this. So let's take a look at what we're seeing as we are getting our way into this area and some of the delays that have built. There it is, I-80 westbound, right around I where we have this. So this is just in the middle of that 680 interchange. So obviously this impacts traffic filtering in off of 680. Anyone who's traveling along westbound I-80 that's trying to get through this area. Here's what it looks like. So let me walk you through what we have going on here. We've got a vehicle right here, and that's on the left-hand side. That's blocking the left lane there. You've got another situation here on the right-hand side. That's on the right shoulder where you have that also being a busy scene. So several vehicles that were involved with this crash, and that's resulting in you kind of having to squeeze into the middle here to get through that stretch. Use some caution as you head through there. You're going to see the flashing lights as you head through that stretch. And the delays have been building on I-80. It's all the way back to around the 96th or so area. As you get past 84th, you'll likely start to see the traffic slowing up as you get toward that stretch. So that's the worst spot that we have right now as far as traffic. I'll keep you posted with any additional developments that come with that. A couple of other spots that are running slow, that includes in Sarpy County. You get down around 72nd and Highway 370. You're looking at westbound traffic and northbound traffic that are a little slow at this point. And then 84th in Papillion. Yesterday it was power outages that were the issue. We don't have those this morning, but it is just sluggish in general as you're getting around 6th Street there in the area near Cornhusker. As you get a little further to the north, you have that construction that's in place too, so that could also slow you down. Give you the wide view. It stands out pretty well where that crash is with the oranges and reds showing up. Most of the rest of the metro, though, not looking at big problems at this point. Even where we have that construction that's in place, repairing the water main break from the weekend on Dodge, is holding up in okay shape so far. I do think we'll probably get some delays that build as we add cars to the road, but it's mainly all about that I-80, 680 interchange there where we've got the big issues.
All right, we know you'll keep us posted, Jared. Thank you. News now, Omaha police say a 55-year-old woman is dead after a crash. This happened her 60th in Ames. Investigators say the woman was driving a motorized wheelchair when she was hit by a pickup truck. The impact threw the woman from her wheelchair, sending it flying into another nearby car. First responders took the woman to the hospital where she later died. Well, if you make your way towards the Blackstone district, you can expect to see more construction, and soon.
It's all for the Omaha Streetcar Project. Now, right now, crews are moving utilities alongside Farnham and Harney. This is the first step before laying any track. With the Harney Bridge construction now done, next up is Farnham Bridge in January. The city is also launching the Streetcar Passport program. That's today. It's meant to help out some of these businesses that have been hurt by this process. For months, First Alert 6 has spoken with the business owners that have struggled to stay afloat during this construction.
Different every day, so that's kind of the biggest challenge is, can we get into our back parking lot? Where do we direct customers? Is there going to be a bunch of mud that comes in?
Well, some businesses weren't able to weather the storm and had to close their doors. Others are hoping the patience pays off and the streetcar will bring in more business once it is finally built. Construction is set to be done by 2028. The city has had an online dashboard to track construction progress. You can find a link to that up on our website, WWT1stalert6.com.
Well, on a related note, happening today, if you have any questions or concerns about the streetcar construction, you have a chance to ask it. The Streetcar Authority is hosting an open house. People can learn more about the ongoing utility work as well as the upcoming mainline track construction. The open house takes place at the lower level of the Durham Museum. It's from 5:30 to 7:30 tonight.
All right, now we're here at the safety desk with Maria Cade. Research from the American Heart Association shows that more people die from heart attacks at the end of December. This is more than any other time during the year. So Maria, how do we stay heart healthy during this time?
You might not think about it, but it kind of makes sense because we're exposed to some more stressors that could really impact our hearts, especially when it comes to some of the choices that some of us can potentially make during the holidays. So that could mean more food, more alcohol than you would normally drink this time of year. So to lower the risk of that holiday heart syndrome, experts say that if you plan to drink any alcohol, you of course want to be mindful of how much you are drinking. You also want to limit those salty and rich foods.
You want to enjoy yourself, but you really want to celebrate smart, and you want to be mindful that these things can occur, and a little bit of prevention goes a long way.
Now, it's also important to know and recognize the warning signs of a heart attack. Again, it can really happen to anybody at any time. So you want to look out for any pain or discomfort in your chest, lightheadedness, shortness of breath, just to name a few. Of course, if you experience any of these, you want to get help as soon as possible.
Okay, good to know, Maria. Thank you. Switching gears now, we also first told you about the baby formula recall earlier at the safety desk a couple of weeks ago. There's a new part to this.
Yeah, they're updating and they say that they can't rule out the possibility that any products from By Heart baby formula, which is the formula that is recalled, might have been impacted by this recall at all. So now they're recalling everything instead of just specific ones. So the botulism outbreak now includes at least 51 infants in 19 states. And that's something to note because this is normally a pretty rare disease. Normally it affects fewer than 200 babies in the country every year. No deaths have been reported so far from this recall, but some of the formula was actually produced in Iowa, to make note of that. The bottom line, though, if you still have it, throw it out. Do not use it.
Okay, good to know. Maria Cade, thank you. We're back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. All morning long, we've been talking about that snow coming in Saturday, but it seems like snow's falling all around us.
Yeah, there's several systems to watch. You're going to hear a lot about how the Pacific Northwest has a lot of moisture, a lot of rain falling. Well, these systems are coming from the Pacific Northwest and diving southeast through our area. This is the one today. These are winter weather advisories today. Look how narrow this is, extending from parts of North Dakota all the way down to Cincinnati, Ohio. This one just grazing our area, missing us for the most part. but you can see how the moisture is just pointing right down through this area, and this is what we're going to be watching here as this really takes over. That's the first little wave. Our chance of snow, the best chance of snow is going to be Saturday. So you can see we'll watch and maybe get a little sleet snow combo try to drift through here in the next hour or two. Likely won't cause a big issue, but this batch of snow will drift across our northern counties and likely have minimal, if any, accumulation. Saturday is the day to watch for us, I think. First Alert 6 weather day with that 14 for the high. That could be in the morning hours and then fall off. It is not going to be warm on Saturday, unfortunately. Dry powdery snow, 6 a.m. to about 3 p.m. is the window. Most of it falls in the morning, up to 2 inches of accumulation. Now that's the absolute high end. Looking at it, most of us will probably be an inch or less, but I think there's going to be a couple of spots in the northeast edge of the city that could get close to 2. It's going to vary that much around the metro. Temperatures will fall off behind that into Sunday morning. So snow forecast shows how the closer you are to this blue, the Blair, Crescent, Trainer, Omaha, Bennington, Council Bluffs, you get a little higher likelihood of getting closer to 2, and then it drops off significantly to the southwest. Just figuring out where to put the cutoff between snow and no snow. That's going to be a tough one here on this southwest edge of this, but 2 to 4 inches of accumulation, and west central Iowa, that's where the best odds are for accumulating snow. And this map shows, I showed it yesterday, now it takes into account any snow today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And it shows more than 2 inches of snow, pretty good odds of that in our west central Iowa counties, medium to high chances here. And that's where the bulk of it's going to be. You can see it drops off significantly as you go to the southwest. And again, there's that path that every snow system's taking northwest to southeast, right through the middle of the country. So we'll go 31 on Friday. Not too much to worry about there. Saturday's the day with the snow. This is 3 a.m. Some light snow across northern parts of our viewing area, but we get closer to 6. It really starts to fill in. And then through the morning, it gradually drops south. By lunch, there's not a ton left. And then from then till 3, it moves out. Behind that, the clear skies take over and it gets cold. That clearing over fresh snow cover will send us down to 4 below to start off the day on Sunday, and then gradually rising up to 19 on Sunday afternoon with a high of about 42 on Monday. So you can see just a plunge of cold air lining up right over the weekend, unfortunately. So mentioned it earlier, indoor stuff's the name of the game this weekend.
Got to stay prepared. Beyond that, we can actually look forward to some of the temperatures as we get, it's going to be the week before Christmas.
I know. So we have some pretty good numbers next week. It's looking really, really good. A lot of 40s. You can see get close to 50 on Wednesday, close to 50 on Saturday, and even look beyond that. Look at how warmer than average weather is trying to take over for the week leading up to Christmas. There's December 24th showing up in this 7-day window here. So mild weather and hopefully pretty dry weather, and that means, you know, everybody's wondering about White Christmas, but that also means you're going to get where you're going.
Exactly.
And you can hang out with family, not have to worry about travel headaches for a large part of the country right now. There's always going to be something.
Sure.
The United States is a big place, but we'll figure out where those are when we get a little closer.
Yeah, great news for travelers, last minute shoppers, whoever you may be. All right, let's look at the traffic now. We know I-80 is very busy. How's the rest of the city looking?
Yeah, it's kind of been the big problem that we've had is I-80, because as I'll show you here with our quad box that has a view throughout the metro, it's pretty quiet in other areas, moving along pretty well. The upper left there being Midtown, you've got 90th and West Dodge there in the bottom right. It's what you're seeing here on I-80 that's our biggest issue, and this is as you're making your way westbound right around I, and you have the left-hand side and the right-hand side, different spots that have issues. Now I will say both of these are on the shoulders now. So you've got that one right there where you are looking at seeing that right in that spot. Okay, it's not going to draw, but there it is. It's on the left shoulder. And then over on the right shoulder, a little further up the road, you're also looking at that shoulder being blocked. So you just need to kind of stay in the middle, use some caution as you're heading through that area. Be ready for things that are delayed, because as you head through that stretch, it's into that 680 interchange. Now I will say, since that's moved to the shoulder, we've gotten things moving a little bit better in the approach to the interchange. So hopefully that continues to alleviate that problem. And when you look elsewhere in the metro, no big other issues. I will say that Dodge spot near UNO is starting to flare up a little bit. I expected that to be the case. So watch for delays there. And then eastbound Dodge, as per normal, right around 168th, also starting to slow down. Those are our big problem spots, particularly that I-81 right near 680.
All right, Jared, thank you very much. An ancient Roman icon gets a modern makeover.
I will show you how the centuries-old landmark is preparing for the upcoming Olympic Games.
This morning, Verona's ancient Roman arena will receive a modern facelift and become more accessible to people with disabilities before the 2026 Milan Cortina Games. The arena will host both this closing ceremony as well as the Paralympic opening ceremony.
Yeah, the facelift is part of a $21 million project that improves accessibility for the entire area surrounded by the arena. Built by the Romans in the 1st century, the Verona Arena was envisioned for gladiator fights and ancient hunts of exotic beasts. It was eventually repurposed as a medieval marketplace. A reminder, you can catch the games right here on First Alert 6.
Do you guys enjoy the winter games?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's the favorite?
Ice skating.
Speed skating.
I do like ice skating as well.
Yeah, I do like that.
I like a good ski jump.
Yeah.
That's always pretty crazy.
All right, we got to go. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update into today's show, which you can watch here on stream and over the air.
Have a good one.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update on the roads this morning as you make your way out the door with Jarrett Lansford.
And our biggest problem spot has been I-80 as you're right around I going westbound with a crash that has a couple of the shoulders blocked. First, it's the left shoulder as you're getting into this area. There you can see that scene. And then a little further up the road, it's the right shoulder. So just stay in the middle there and watch for some delays. Those have improved quite a bit here over the last 5 minutes or so. So we are looking at some improvement taking place, but still use some caution around there. JFK northbound approaching I-80 with some pretty large delays at this point, and then as usual, Dodge slowing around 168 eastbound. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Keeping an eye on temperatures in the radar today, and we're going to be cold this morning, but should be able to warm up a little bit. We're 25 to 27 over the area right now. This little sliver of well, sleet or snow trying to move through, but it's really struggling to get farther south in the Platte River. So you can see Norfolk over to West Point towards Ottawa, Denison, and Carroll. Probably the best bet to get something out of this over the course of the morning as it drifts east. Wind, not a huge issue today like it was yesterday, but it will be out of the southeast, and it'll gust to near 20 miles per hour to start off the day into the start off the afternoon, I should say. First alert forecast takes the 20s this morning, climbs into the low 40s later on today, about 40 to 41, with some breaks in those clouds in the afternoon. Our best chance of snow lines up on Saturday.
All right, breaking news we are following. A Shenandoah man is dead after a crash early this morning. Iowa State Patrol says this happened just after midnight in Adams County. An initial investigation has found a truck left the road, went into a ditch, rolling several times. The driver, identified as 37-year-old Michael Wilson, was ejected from that car. He was taken to the hospital where he later died.
Well, it is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then. Have a great day.